Hi, I'm Christopher Golightly, and today I'm going to tell you how to change a tire. So this is a skill you're going to need in many different situations. Whether you have a flat, a blowout, or just need to replace your tire, you're definitely going to need to know how to properly do it. Before beginning this task, you're going to make sure that you have all the proper tools and supplies that you're going to need. So first off, you're going to need a spare tire or a replacement tire. For demonstration purposes, we are simply going to remove and then put back on this tire because it is not flat. So we're just going to show how to do the process. Otherwise, you're going to need a jack, which typically will come with your vehicle, or you can buy one at any auto parts store. Secondly, you're going to need a sturdy tire iron or the one that came with your car. If a tire iron is not handy or you do not have the proper size, it can be replaced with a socket set, which will work just as effectively. Before beginning this task, you must first ensure that the car is in park or gear and that the emergency brake is pulled. First step of changing a tire is to loosen the lug nuts. You are going to do this while the tire is on the ground because when the tire is in air, it gives you less resistance and therefore will spin as you try and loosen the lug nuts, making the process much more difficult. So to loosen the lug nuts, you are going to fit the socket end of the tire iron onto the lug nut. Then you are going to spin in a leftward motion. If you are confused which way to turn the bolt, the motto is lefty loosey, righty tighty. So once you have loosened the lug nut, you want it to be finger tight so that you can loosen and tighten it with your fingers. You do not want the lug nut off because you need the tire still on while the tire is on the ground. So you're going to do that to all the lug nuts and just once again make them finger tight. So the second step in changing the tire is to lift the car up using a jack. So first of all, never use a jack that you do not first know how it works and how to use it. This can be very dangerous to your safety. It can result in injury. So before using your jack, you are going to want to know where to place it under the vehicle. You can see that in your owner's manual, or if you do not have an owner's manual, any solid piece of metal should be safe to use and should work just fine. So if you'll come in here and zoom in on this, for this particular vehicle, you place the jack on this notch that is meant for it, and then you begin to jack the car up. Pause it. You're going to want to jack your car up high enough that you can fit a full-size spare onto it without any trouble. And that's what size this tire is. So as you can see, there's space between this tire and the ground, and that's what you want. The largest tire that you have that you're going to put on it, you want there to be space between that tire and the ground once you have put it on. So this brings us to step 3, which is to take off the lug nuts, which you have already loosened, which will make this much easier. So you just twist the lug nuts that are already finger tight or finger loose, however you want to say it, and you begin to take them all off. And so once you have all the lug nuts off, you are then going to take the tire off and make this real simple. As you take the lug nuts off, the tire will get looser, so you're going to want to keep it in place so the lug nuts come off even and smooth. Then you're going to want to remove the tire. You're going to put it off to the side and then bring your spare over. And as I said, for demonstration purposes, this is our spare tire. After you have taken off the old tire, you are going to put a new tire back on. So as you are taking off the old lug nuts, it is important to know that you should keep them all in one space to make it real convenient while you're putting the new tire back on. So you're going to bring your tire over and fit it to the hubcap so that the holes in the rotor and the holes in the tire line up so you can put in your lug nuts easily and they will screw in. So you're going to want to tighten your lug nuts just with your fingers at first and put them in a star formation. So you got the top, then I'm going to go down here to the bottom finger of the star. I'm going to screw my lug nut in, just finger loose, and then just have it in there so the tire stays in place. Then you're going to come over and you're going to put it on the arm over here. You're following your star formation as if you were to draw a star on paper. So it's just real simple. Just twist them in just so they're in the holes. And then once you have this complete, you are going to lower the vehicle. So step 5 is lowering the vehicle. After you have put the tire on, you're going to want to make sure there is nothing in between the tire or the vehicle and the floor. So you're going to make sure that the ground is clear of where the vehicle is going to lower, and then lowering it is just the reverse motion of raising the jack. So you're just going to go do the opposite of what you did, and the car should slowly lower until it is on the ground. Once you have lowered the jack and the car is back on the ground, you are going to give the lug nuts on the tire their final tightening. This will ensure that your tire does not wobble while it is driving and it is tight and as secure as possible. So you're just going to do the same you have been doing and just tighten it as much as you can. And once again, you're going to tighten the lug nuts in a star formation just to make sure that pressure is evenly dispersed and the tire sits evenly on the rotor. So you're going to tighten them as tight as you possibly can get them. If you need, just keep tightening it. And me personally, I like to recreate this star pattern about 2 times when I'm tightening it. Because as you tighten these other ones, that first one has a little bit more space added to it where it can be tightened. So after you have tightened all the lug nuts as tight as they can go, then you are completed with this task. And you can drive off and do whatever you need with your new tire. Go get your old one fixed. Now I have completed showing you how to successfully change a tire, I'm going to tell you a few tips and warnings that you should be wary of. So when changing a tire, always make sure you're in a safe place such as a parking lot, parking space, or on a safe shoulder of a road. Do not change it on the side of a highway or in any hazardous area. Secondly, when lowering and raising the jack, you want to make sure nothing is under the vehicle. Vehicles are extremely unstable on jacks, and you should never be under them while they are on top of jacks. The jack could collapse and the vehicle would then fall on you, causing injury. Lastly, make sure your lug nuts are tight and that you have completed every step in this process completely and thoroughly. You do not want any accidents happening while you're driving due to careless completion of this simple task. Now have fun out there, and I hope you use this knowledge to benefit you. Thank you.